Hello, my name is Norm, and I do markup things, including XProc and implementations of XProc. I also work on DocBook and on style sheets for DocBook and on lots and lots of other markup-related things. I am the author of DocBook, the Definitive Guide, and I scribble occasionally on my own weblog. The idea for this screencast is as a teaser for my Balisage 2020 paper. Balisage is the premier North American markup conference, and for all of the obvious reasons in 2020 it will be virtual. You can go to this page to register if you haven't already, and if you happen to be watching this after the conference, hello future! You can go to this page and register for the next Balisage conference, which we hope will be back in Rockville, Maryland in 2021 and years following. My paper this year is about XSLT3 on ordinary prose. I will be presenting it at 4 p.m. on Monday, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on Monday, if you want to listen to me do that. The background for the paper is a complete ground-up rewrite of the DocBook style sheets in XSLT 3.0. So I guess this screencast is also a teaser for that project. It comes with reference documentation and also a test suite and all of the modern goodness you would expect. If you look at the TOC for my Balisage paper, you will see that there is a lot to cover in half an hour, and in fact there is no way I will even attempt to cover all of that in half an hour. I will do highlights only. But in the course of doing the implementation of the style sheets, I had some fun with various aspects of the style sheets, and I realized there's just no way that I'm going to get any of that stuff in the presentation, and so I thought it would be fun to present 5 interesting things about the XSL TNG style sheets for DocBook. The first is a new and much improved look and feel. The header navigation bar is now fixed at the top. There are accessibility features for images and tables, or there are more accessibility features for images and tables. The footer that appears at the bottom of the page always appears on the bottom of the page, even if the page is shorter than the content. Even the content is shorter than the page. There's a new persistent TOC, which I'll talk about in the next chapter or an upcoming chapter. And of course, it's all done with CSS and markup, so you can customize it to your heart's content. The goal of the style sheets is to produce clean semantic HTML with accessibility features, and the online presentation is driven by modern, widely available CSS and JavaScript APIs. I should point out, a fun thing that isn't one of the 5 is that the style sheets support, I need to make it work, the style sheets support image maps, so if I go over here to number 5 and click on that, it will take me down, and they are bidirectional. Next chapter, the persistent TOC up here in the corner. As a navigation aid, if you click on that, you get a pull-out TOC for the document that you're in, and you can use that to navigate about, and you can use a keyboard to close it if you want. I should point out that the TOC up there is just what I'm using in the stock distribution. You can customize it to your heart's content. In fact, if I go back to the reference guide, you will see the sort of thing that I mean. So the navigation is nicer, and the flyout TOC is more attractively arranged. And if you click on it here, you'll see it attempts to keep up with the page that you're on, all that sort of good stuff. Next up, there is better support for callouts. Callouts are a way of adding little markers like image map markers to program listings and other verbatim content. This is the bug in the XSLT 2.0 style sheets that causes this not to work right was the actual thing that got this whole enterprise started. These have pop-up text and are bidirectional, so you can click back and forth between them. I'm also usingXinclude and RFC 5147 fragment identifiers to break the program listing up into multiple pieces for documentation purposes, even though it's a single file. I guess I should have been prepared to show you the single file, but I'm not. There's also MathJax included, so if you put MathML in your pages, you will get nice mathematics. Annotations are something I've always wanted to support, and I've now, in the 3.0 style sheets with modern JavaScript, have an implementation that I'm pleased with. So annotations are what these little marks are, and if you click on them, you get a little pop-up annotation. They're bidirectional, so annotations can point to the things that they annotate, or things that want to be annotated can point to the annotations, and you're not required to use them only once. You can repeat them if you want. They're rendered, as you've just seen, when you have JavaScript. If you don't have JavaScript, they appear as endnotes at the bottom of the page. If you choose the non-JavaScript presentation, they're presented at the end of the document, something like endnotes. That's what I meant to say. The fifth interesting feature is support for extended Xlink. So, like annotations, the Xlink extended links can be non-local, and what I mean by extended links is you can have more than one target. So here DocBook is linked to docbook.org and to DocBook on Wikipedia, and if I click on that, I get a little drop down and I can navigate through there. This also has a non-JavaScript presentation, and if I go to the Node.js version that I put together, you'll see this is exactly the same page. I just commented out the CSS and JavaScript that was giving me the other presentation. Now the links appear just in a list afterwards. A bonus feature, I guess, one of several, is the ability to have paged media support. I'm not trying to do XSLFO in the new style sheets. I think that the future is probably CSS, and tools like Antenna House and Prints and a bunch of others allow you to get paged media from HTML plus CSS. So there's a customization layer that produces slightly different HTML, and then you run it through the tool and you get nice looking PDF. I can show you that. Here is 5 interesting things presented with paged media. You get a table of contents and page numbers and everything you'd expect. Footnotes appear at the bottom of the page, and so do annotations are formatted as footnotes when you're doing the PDF presentation. If you want annotations to appear only online, or if you want some of them to appear online, you can use profiling to make them only appear in the online version of the document. I don't have profiling in here as a feature because it's been supported by the style sheets for a long time. There's some references here to various things that I described, and finally there's the colophon for this. So that was a summary of 5 interesting things in the style sheets that I won't have a chance to talk about on Monday, coming up real soon. I ought to work on the slides for that talk, I think. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, and maybe we'll do some more interesting things in the future. Bye-bye.